Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Paterson, and welcome back to a new video. Today we're doing something really cool. I am showing you the new Space Force logo designs, and I'm also going to critique them as well because I haven't actually had a proper look at these yet and I haven't really spoken much about it. But I thought before I go and make a stab at making my own Space Force logo, one that I personally think will be better, I've got to critique and see what the competition is first, and I'm going to take you guys through my process of critiquing. And by no means necessary am I saying that these logos are bad, but I do think there's a lot of improvement that could be made. So simply, yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so this first logo here is pretty simple. It looks like the NASA logo, and you've got this vector here, which this thing here is in a lot of space logos. It's in the NASA logo and it's in a few others as well, and people aren't too sure exactly what it is. First thing I like about it is that the typography is pretty cool. You can read it, it matches with the space theme. What I don't like is the color yellow here. I think it's a bit strange to have in this logo, but I'm not going to complain too much about it. I also love the stars and the fact that it's in a circle. It shows, you know, a planet and stuff, and it's got a lot of the NASA-esque logo inside it. I do also like the fact that it's not blue, because NASA's logo is blue and you don't want it to get, you know, kind of muddled up with that logo. Now, one thing we have to keep in mind when we're critiquing these kind of logos is that they're going to be worn as badges. So they're going to be full of color and they're going to be worn on uniforms, on t-shirts, and they'll probably be on products and stuff as well, and equipment. So it's not only important to have like a good badge icon, it's really important for it to work on its own with the actual typography. Okay, we'll move on to the second one here, and this one is probably one of my least favorite, simply because it looks very childish. The A on space doesn't work out very well there. I can see what they're trying to do. It's kind of like a rocket or this vector type of thing going on here, conspiracies. The F also looks really weird. I don't know why this is all the way down. Like, it should be up here somewhere. It should be like around about here somewhere. It just seems to me that the lettering is too enclosed and the colors are there. I mean, you've got this part here, the flames coming out of this rocket. It looks okay. It doesn't look 2018 though. But another thing I do like is the fact that it's got this trailwind at the back here, this circle going on, the white thing in the middle, if that's what it's called. And it's got stars in there, and you can definitely tell it's Space Force. But purely from the aesthetic of the typography here, it's not going to work very well. You need it to work with the badge and without, in my opinion. And don't get me wrong, I have not looked at the brief of this at all. No one's briefed me on this, so I'm just giving my honest thoughts and opinions. Okay, the number 3. This one is pretty cool, but again, it's way too complicated. With logo design, and I say this in nearly every video of mine, logo design should be simple. And obviously, you can get more complicated logos, especially with badges and stuff that we're wearing now. You know, t-shirts will be made with the actual logo on it, so it's not a bad idea to have a cool illustration that's simple and geometrically perfect on the t-shirt. But this has got way too much going into it. So you've got missing or like separated text here, which does look cool. I do like the actual typography here. I think it looks good, but it's just way too complicated in the fact that you've got missing parts here. I think the fact that the A in Space Force with the sidebar taken out is just looking good. I like that. I just don't like the fact that there's bits missing. It seems overkill. I don't like the amount of stars either in this. I think you can take away most of those stars, and plus there's a lot of missing space down here. So you got a rocket there, but a lot of missing space down here, and then the orbital lines, they're a bit strange. I would have had them in a lighter blue. But the coolest part about this is the actual rocket. This rocket looks awesome. I think if they had a rocket like that as the actual icon for the logo, that would look pretty cool. But again, it's going to be worn as a badge. Okay, the 4th logo. Let's have a look. Now this one's like a proper minimalist sort of cartoony illustration of a rocket going into space, which is cool. I like it, and it's in the shape of a crest or a shield. I like this design. This design is really cool, and it's very formal but yet colorful and friendly. I love the fact that you can see that the power from the rocket is in this sort of magenta and red. And again, I like the typography here. They seem to have said yes to this A here, having the sidebar taken out. I do like certain parts of it being taken out, but not the R, because it looks too much like a P. The S has got too much of a line here. I just don't like it. These parts here, these look great. I do like the fact that the typography is central within the badge. That's a pretty cool thing. But I think they can add more down here to these side bits here, because if you squint your eyes, There's a lot of negative space down here, but as a badge and an icon, it works really well. You could have this logo as an actual icon. You can have the Space Force logo type just there as well with the rocket icon, so it doesn't have to be in this border of having a badge. You have to excuse me because my hair is crazy at the minute. It's really long. It actually goes down to my face. So far I really like this one, and I'm going to number them in the end, so just watch out for it. Okay, so this next one here is the Space Force, the one with the moon in the background. Now I do like the moon, but it's not got that much contrast, and I'm not too sure why it's got the moon on there, because we're all about going to Mars. Or I guess it could be the American colors actually. But again, I do like the rocket here. This rocket looks really cool with the color parts here. The typography, again, I don't like the typography, but I do like the star in the center of it. I think that works really well. It's very military but friendly at the same time. And again, I know these are probably just concepts, but I think you could work better with the actual fire coming off the engines here. I think it could be a bit more, you know, shebang to it rather than just like this clean line going up. And it's way too pointy. But it gets a message across, but again, I think this can't be worn as much of a badge, so I wouldn't vote on this one. This last one here reminds me of a game that I love to play, and it's probably no secret that I am an absolute space fan. Okay, so this is No Man's Sky Next, so that's basically the next preview for Xbox One and the new update for No Man's Sky. Look at the colors, they look really nice, really cool, really colorful, but look at the actual typography of the A is pretty much missing the sidebar, the end's missing bit of the legs, but the colors are pretty similar to this and it's got the same attributes to it. But I really like this one. I think this one looks awesome, but it says Mars awaits on it, which I think is cool, but you can get Space Force in there. I love the fact that there's trees and everything, so for an illustration, I think this works really well. All in all, for the logo, I don't think we should have many of these. If I was going to vote on one, it's got to be this one up here on the top left, the first one. I would vote on this one every day just because it functionally works better for everyone to see. But aesthetically and in an illustrative way and in an artistic way, I would definitely go for this one as well, or this one. Actually, they all look pretty good. The ones I hate most or don't hate is this one, and this one. So all these three here, I think have got really good potential for being a good logo. I love the fact that this one's purely circular, and the Space Force actually typography I would change because it should look something more like this, or actually that looks really childish now. It should look more like this. I love this type for Space Force here in the top left. So all in all, I think there are some cool design concepts here, and I'm going to use these concepts in the next video or in a later video to design my very own. And I'm recording the process as we speak right now of me creating the Space Force logo in the best way. So if you haven't already, please press that red subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on an actual video that I put up in here. And also, if you don't know, we've got that join button now. So if you want some cool perks from the channel, press that join button. A huge shout out to FreshBooks for sponsoring this video. FreshBooks is an online invoice creator, account services, expense tracker, and everything you need as a small business to send invoices. I've been using FreshBooks for a long time now, and I can honestly say it's helped me so much when it comes to planning how much money's coming in, tracking invoices, tracking my expenses, making profit loss forms, sending proposals, and just having everything on one database. The best thing about FreshBooks, I believe, is probably the fact that when you send an invoice to a client, it has automatic late payment fees, but it also tells you when they have viewed that invoice. So whenever they say they didn't get the invoice, you can tell them you did. If you'd like 30 days of FreshBooks for completely free, click that link down below in the description. It's risk-free just to try it out, and let me know what you think. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you got this far, then tell me down below in the comments that you got this far and which logo out of all of these 6 logos you would choose. Guys, see you soon. Goodbye.